Howdy, it's Sunny Budummy. And look, I do not advocate for people being cancelled. Not because I don't believe that some people shouldn't be deplatformed, but simply because most of the time, people that get cancelled leave their platforms for like a maximum of a couple months, and then they come back and they keep the platform. Like, they still have a similar fan base, like a similar size of fan base to what they had before, or they make even more fans because people are really quick to forget when a person has done something more than just simply problematic, but also illegal. So let me ask you this. Are you deplatforming them and holding them accountable for their past or present actions, or are you giving them a forced vacation? Because if they are only gone for less than 3 months, I am terribly sorry to break this to you. You might want to sit down for this one. You didn't cancel them. You sent them on a summer break. It is what it is. Oh, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just stating an observation. Because last time I checked, my summer holidays are 10 weeks. And there are people on different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter that get canceled and they come back a week later. Like, you see what's going on? They're not being canceled. You're sending them on a tiny little break. And the thing is, their platforms don't even change in shape. Like, they don't change. They're still catering to the same people. People are still liking them. Like, you see what the problem is? When are people that are supposed to be canceled going to actually be canceled? When is the canceling going to do the cancellation? I don't understand. This specific scenario goes for that one TikToker that likes little kids. I know that there are a lot of them, so just pick one. Imagine that person. Shay Dawson? Jeffree Star? Heck, even Sip Stefan. Yeah, the Genshin Impact TikToker. He counts too. Like, looking at Shane specifically, it was not the first time that he was called out. This is not his first time at the rodeo, so to say. It was actually multiple things that he had done that had accumulated over time. In most people's cases, it's a lot of small things that accumulate and make a big problem. In his case, specifically, it was a lot of big things that he did that just like piled up. And they continued being piled up because people were ignoring them. His big whoopsies, as people call them, his big problems just started accumulating and made an explosion. Been blatantly racist and a straight up creep for years. And he partly built his platform off of that. Like, you cannot ignore the fact that his early YouTube career was built on making fun of people. And some of the characters that he was portraying were just blackface. You can't ignore that. These are facts. He made a platform off of that. He made money. He made t-shirts. Well, okay. He's back on YouTube. Like, I know that it was not seen as a problem by most people at the time and for a very long time. And when I say most people, I mean that, of course, there were people that had been calling him out and he even made apologies. But even then, the things that he was saying and doing were not getting the attention that it got in 2020 when the big, like, scandal broke out. Be it because he actually started getting a large number of new viewers due to his series with Jeffree Star. Like, could it be because of that? I don't know. But I just find it very odd that you need for a creator to get big or at least bigger on a platform to be able to call them out on their shit. And for people to care, to actually give a flying hoot about what they're doing on the internet. Or at least pretend to care. If a smaller creator were to do the same thing as him, would it not be equally bad? Like, yeah, they have a smaller audience and less people to call them out, but if there are people calling that smaller creator out, shouldn't it at least get a fraction of the same energy as before? As like with Shane? I'm smelling a little hypocrisy here, but maybe that's just me. Same thing with Sip Sip. People call him out on most of his platforms like Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, etc. I mean, the heat was mainly coming from TikTok, but that doesn't mean that there weren't people on other platforms like Twitter specifically. And they were calling him out for being a massive hypocrite. Like, imagine advocating for more skin tones in Genshin Impact and telling people not to spend a single dime on that game as a form of protest. As in, like, you're striking. And then you go and spend money on that very game you're telling people not to spend money on. And you say that it's because of content. Like, how are you going to go around saying this for months and then you go on and spend money on that very game? You shitting me? Are you kidding me? Come on. Oh, and also, when China was in lockdown and Genshin was not able to update on time because of that very lockdown, he went on to say that it didn't matter to him that people were dying in China because he wanted to make money. And he wouldn't be able to make money if China was on lockdown. Yeah, that speaks for itself. So he gets called out for all of this and handles it horribly. Privates all of his TikToks. Now, if he privated them because he felt bad for all the things that he said, or if he just wanted to hide any evidence of what he was saying and the types of things that he was saying on his platform, or if he privated them because he was scared that Hoyoverse, the company that makes the game, would find out about all the info he has been leaking, it's up to debate. Why did he actually private his videos? Is it because he was actually leaving the platform because he didn't want evidence to, show up? Or is it because he was scared of this big company taking legal action? That is very up for debate. And then he posts this. And then a little over a week later, he's back. And he has fans. He's posting the exact same content even though he said he was not.
Back and forth with myself, I've honestly decided to walk away from the Genshin leak content on this channel. I'm still doing that content, it's just mainly on Twitter, in the Discord, and obviously live on Twitch.
And he gets views. Am I tripping? What's going on? Were we not hating on him 5 days ago? Were we not against him? But suddenly he brings leaks. He brings new leaks about this new area, and everyone's fine with him. Everyone's cool with him, as if nothing really happened. Because, at least they didn't see him for a couple days. All's good now. Fantastic. And it confuses me because there are people, and look, I get that everybody makes mistakes. Although dressing up as a caricature of a marginalized group of people is not something that I would see as an oopsie, looking at you, Shane, I understand that people can learn and grow from experiences, and they should be able to do so. within reason. But I believe in having the same energy for everybody. If we are going to give people room to grow, give everyone room to grow. If we are going to deplatform people, let's deplatform everyone that does the same thing as they do. Because otherwise, you're a hypocrite. I feel like it ultimately comes down to the fact that a lot of people on the internet genuinely do not give a flying hoot about why people are being canceled or the people that they affect, and they are just doing it because everyone else is doing the same thing. They see people tweeting, using their platforms to do this, to talk about these issues. They see the engagement that those posts get, and then they do the same thing without even understanding what or why they are doing it. Because there is no way that people make their mind up about a person and then double back on that. Or maybe that's just me. And it's that mentality that makes it so that as soon as there is even the faintest smell of controversy, even if they don't have all of the facts or even a fourth of the picture, they will oftentimes jump the gun and try to cancel an innocent person or a person whose words have been taken out of context. So they try to ruin innocent people's careers and don't even try to take responsibility for the way that they acted. But at least they got a couple of views and a couple of likes, huh? You know, it's chill because they get views, they get whatever they want because everyone else is hating on them. So if you hate on them too, it's okay, right? Even if you don't have the full picture, because one person said, oh, this, and this, and never showed like any evidence for any of it. Like, come on, some critical thinking is needed. But whatever. When people actually do things and there's evidence behind it, let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. Let's focus on when there is absolutely no evidence for anything. That's when we should actually take action. Like, it feels like they're dishing out a greater punishment in comparison to what the original person actually did. And when it's a person that is actually guilty, they like to let them go. They like to give them a lighter sentence. And that's messed up. That is really messed up. But maybe that's just me, because I have a hard time forgiving people for the things they do. But I have also learned from experience that it's important to get the full picture, because before judging someone and dishing out whatever consequence comes afterwards. Anyways, this is where I have to end the video. My throat is hurting and I am in desperate need of some tea. Anyways, stay safe, don't be a stranger. Bye!